Have you ever felt like you're carrying an invisible chain, a burden so heavy it weighs down your spirit and steals your peace? Debt has a way of doing just that. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay bound forever. What if I told you that hidden within the pages of the Bible are timeless secrets, divinely inspired strategies that can help you break free from financial chains? Curious, you should be. Let me share a story to kick things off. A young widow, we'll call her Ruth, found herself in a dire situation. Her husband had passed away, and the creditors were coming to take her 2 sons as payment for her debt. She felt trapped and hoped, but then something miraculous happened. A prophet named Elisha gave her instructions straight from God, and with a jar of oil and an act of obedience, her entire situation turned around. This is not just the story of a widow. Stay with me, sacred ones, because in this video, we're uncovering biblical secrets to breaking free from debt. These principles are not only spiritually empowering, but also incredibly practical. Trust me, you'll want to watch till the end because what you're about to learn could change your life. Acknowledge the source of your provision first and foremost. Let's set the foundation. Is your ultimate provider. This profound truth is captured beautifully in Deuteronomy 18, where it says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." This verse shifts the narrative. It's not about your hustle, your grind, or even your strategic planning. It's about God's provision and His grace that empowers you to succeed. Debt, however, can blur this truth. It whispers lies like, you're on your own, or you must do it all yourself. It convinces you that the only way forward is to work harder, stay up later, and push yourself beyond your limits. But here's the liberating truth. When you partner with God, you're never striving alone. You're leaning on a source far greater than your abilities, a source that never runs dry. Let's make this practical. Imagine starting your day with a simple yet powerful habit, acknowledging God. Before diving into the chaos of emails, bills, and to-do lists, pause. Pray over your finances. You don't need elaborate words. A heartfelt "God, I trust you to guide me and provide what I need today" is enough. This isn't a magic trick. It's faith in action, a tangible reminder that you're trusting in His provision rather than your own limited resources. God is already working behind the scenes. While you're fretting over numbers, He's aligning opportunities, opening doors, and providing wisdom. Consider how often Jesus taught about trusting God, like in Matthew 6:26, where He reminds us how God cares for even the birds of the air. If He provides for them, how much more will He provide for you, His beloved? Debt may try to dominate your thoughts, but faith can shift your perspective. Partnering with God means shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. So, sacred ones, start today by putting your faith in action. Trust God as your provider, seek His wisdom, and watch as He transforms not just your finances, but your entire outlook. Point 2. Embrace the principle of mismanagement. It's not just about earning more money, but handling what you already have with wisdom and purpose. The Bible emphasizes the importance of stewardship, or wisely managing what God has entrusted to you. In Luke 6:6 says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." This principle reveals a profound truth. How you manage small resources determines your capacity to handle larger blessings. Reflect on your stewardship. Take a moment to ask yourself, do you truly know where your money is going, or is it slipping away unnoticed? Every dollar has a purpose, and when you don't assign it one, it tends to vanish into unnecessary expenses. Stewardship is about intentionality, aligning your finances with your values and goals. Practical steps to steward your finances. Let's break down 3 simple, transformative steps to take control. Create a budget. Think of a budget as your financial roadmap. It doesn't limit your freedom. It empowers you to make choices that align with your priorities. Categorize your income and expenses, setting aside funds for essential savings and apps like Mint or Yenab. You need a budget can simplify the process. A budget isn't a chore, it's a tool for peace of mind. 2. Cut unnecessary expenses. Be brutally honest about your spending. That daily coffee run, streaming subscriptions you forgot about. These little indulgences can add up. Distinguish between needs and wants. Proverbs 22:7 warns, "The borrower is slave to the lender." Cutting excess helps you break free from debts. 3. Save before you spend. Proverbs 20 teaches, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." In modern terms, this means saving first ensures you have resources for emergencies. Opportunity. Automate your savings to make it effortless. Your future self will thank you. Managing your resources wisely isn't just about financial freedom. It's about spiritual growth. God entrusts you with resources to bless others, build His kingdom, and reflect His wisdom. Embrace stewardship and watch how your financial habits transform not only your wallet but your life. Point 3. Give generously, even in debt. Here's where it gets counterintuitive. Sacred one. One of the greatest secrets to breaking free from debt is generosity. Yes, generosity. The act of giving when it feels like you don't have enough can unlock abundance in your life. This principle isn't just an abstract idea. It's grounded in biblical truth and real-world wisdom. Tithing 3, and there's a starting, "In the whole tithe lie into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." This verse contains a rare divine challenge. God invites you to test Him. When you give your first fruits, your tithe, you aren't losing. You're planting seeds of faith that yield extraordinary results. Generosity shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Debt often brings a suffocating sense of lack, trapping you in a cycle of fear and hoarding. But when you give, even from a place of little, you break the chains of scarcity. You're declaring that your trust isn't in your bank balance, but in God's ability to provide. This isn't just spiritual theory. It's backed by real-world evidence. Studies show that people who practice generosity tend to experience higher levels of happiness and reduce stress, even in financial hardship. Why? Because giving rewires your brain, fostering gratitude and reducing anxiety about what you lack. A farmer hoarding seeds for fear of famine will never see a harvest, but the one who plants generously in faith reaps abundantly. In the same way, your giving is like sowing seeds into God's kingdom. Whether it's your tithe, acts of kindness, or helping someone in need, these seeds grow into blessings you can't even begin to measure. God's economy operates on principles that defy human logic. His math is miraculous. When you give, you receive, often in ways you least expect. Financial provision, restored relationships, peace in your heart. These are just a glimpse of the floodgates of heaven opening over your life. So sacred ones, trust God in this. Step out in faith, give generously, and watch Him transform your financial struggles into testimony of His abundant grace. Point 4. Avoid the snare of borrowing. Proverbs 22:7 lays out a truth that resonates across centuries. The borrower is slave to the lender. These words highlight a reality many have faced. Debt binds us, limiting freedom and adding unnecessary burdens. While borrowing isn't inherently sinful, the Bible emphasizes approaching it with caution and wisdom to avoid the traps of financial enslavement. Why debt can feel like bondage when you borrow. A portion of your income no longer serves you. It serves your lender. Whether it's a bank, credit card company, or friend, debt often leads to financial stress, limits options, and stifles opportunities to build wealth or give generously. This is why the Bible urges us to owe no one anything except to love each other. Romans 13:8. Practical tips for managing debt. 1. Live below your means. Resist the urge to compete with others' lifestyles. Social media often glamorizes luxury, but financial peace isn't found in flashy purchases. It's in living within or below your means. Build a budget and stick to it, knowing that your long-term goals matter more than fleeting validation. 2. Delay gratification. The power of patience is transformative. Instead of impulsively swipe your credit card for the latest gadget or vacation, save up, and pay in cash. Not only will this keep you out of debt, but it will also bring a sense of accomplishment and gratitude for what you've worked for. 3. Refinance wisely if you're already in debt. Explore ways to reduce its impact. Consolidating loans or refinancing for a lower interest rate can save thousands over time. For example, refinancing a 15 credit card debt into a 5 personal loan can significantly shorten your repayment timeline. A biblical perspective on financial stewardship debt isn't just about money, it's a matter of stewardship. Everything we have is entrusted to us by God. By managing our finances wisely, we honor Him and position ourselves to be more generous in Him. Imagine the joy of being able to give freely because you're no longer burdened by debt. Financial freedom may require discipline and sacrifice, but it leads to peace, joy, and the ability to serve God and others without the weight of financial chains. Proverbs 22:7 isn't just a warning. It's an invitation to live a life of wisdom, freedom, and purpose. Speak life into your situation. Sacred ones, the words you speak carry immense spiritual weight. Proverbs 8:1 tells us, "The tongue has the power of life and death." Think about that for a moment. What you say can either build up or tear down, create or destroy. Words are not merely sounds. They are creative forces with the potential to shape reality. Let's consider an example. If you keep declaring, "I'll never get out of debt," you're speaking defeat into existence. Such words create a mindset of limitation and hopelessness. On the other hand, when you align your speech with God's promises, you unlock a divine shift. It's not just positive thinking, it's anchoring your declarations in the living Word of God, which is active and powerful. Hebrews 4:12. The power of declaring God's Word, the Bible, provides us with a treasure trove of affirmations that realign our lives with God's truth. For instance, Deuteronomy 28:13 reminds us of our divine inheritance. "I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath." This is not mere wishful thinking. It's a spiritual reality, waiting to be activated through faith-filled speech. When you declare Philippians 4:19, "God is supplying all my needs according to His riches in glory," you're not ignoring challenge. Instead, you're choosing to focus on God's limitless provision rather than your temporary lack. Breaking free with faith-filled words. Debt, fear, or any challenge you face can feel like chains. But when you say, "I am breaking free from the chains of debt through God's power," you're calling on the same power that raised Christ from the dead. Words of faith open doors for miracles. They remind your spirit and the spiritual realm that God is greater than any obstacle. Why this works? Science supports this principle as well. Neuroscientists have found that positive affirmations rewire the brain, fostering resilience and problem solving. But as believers, we know this goes beyond psychology. It's a divine principle established by God Himself. Sacred ones, choose to speak life over your circumstances. Let every word be a seed of faith planted in the fertile soil of God's promises. Transformation begins not just in what you believe, but in what you boldly declare. Speak life and watch how God brings His word to fulfillment in your life. Seek godly counsel. Breaking free from the chains that hold us back can be one of life's most profound and life-changing experiences. But often, the hardest part is not the desire to change, but knowing how to take that first step. It's easy to think that we have to do everything on our own, but Proverbs 15:22 offers valuable wisdom. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. This verse speaks to the importance of seeking guidance and relying on the wisdom of others when pursuing growth and freedom. When we are navigating difficult situations or striving for personal development, having a reliable support system is essential. It's easy to get overwhelmed when we're solely responsible for figuring everything out ourselves. Whether it's navigating a career transition, managing financial challenges, or even seeking spiritual growth, the right counsel can make all the difference. A mentor, financial advisor, or even a pastor can offer insights that we might not have considered, helping us avoid mistakes and stay on course. Consider if a financial coach can help you create a plan to eliminate debt, invest wisely, and secure your future. Without that advice, your financial dreams might remain just that, dreams. Similarly, a trusted mentor can help you discover strengths you never knew you had, pushing you to pursue your goals with renewed confidence. But it's not just about getting advice. It's about surrounding yourself with people who care, people who are invested in your success, people who will encourage you during times of doubt and celebrate your wins with you. The concept of many advisors doesn't necessarily mean gathering every opinion available. It means finding those who are genuinely wise, trustworthy, and these are the people who have walked the path before you and can offer valuable lessons learned from their own journeys. With their input, your plans are more likely to succeed because they are grounded in practical advice, seasoned wisdom, and a deep understanding of your goals. So whether you're taking on a major life decision or simply trying to overcome obstacles in your everyday life, remember that freedom often comes through collaboration. Seek wise counsel. Surround yourself with positive and supportive individuals, and watch how their guidance propels you toward lasting success and freedom. Point 7. Have a plan and work it. Faith without works is dead. Sacred ones. This powerful message from the Bible reminds us that while trusting God is essential, He also calls us to take action in our lives. Trusting in His divine plan is only one part of the equation. God expects us to do our part, to work diligently, and to take steps towards fulfilling His calling. Proverbs 6:8 provides wisdom from an unlikely teacher. The ant, go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. In essence, the Bible uses the ant as a model for us to follow in our work ethic. The ant does not wait for external motivation. It plans ahead, gathers resources, and works tirelessly, regardless of circumstances. Success doesn't come from passive waiting, but from consistent, intentional effort. Now, let's break this down into an actionable roadmap to incorporate into your own life. Store your debts. Like the ant gathering its provisions, start by taking inventory. Write down every debt, whether it's a credit card, a loan, or an outstanding balance. Acknowledging your debts is the first step toward financial freedom. The ant doesn't ignore what it needs to survive. Neither should we avoid facing our financial responsibilities. 2. Prioritize them by interest rate or balance. Now, get organized. You may have many debts, but not all debts are created equal. The ant doesn't gather in a random, chaotic manner. It does so with purpose. Focus on high-interest debts first. Paying them off reduces your financial burden more quickly and saves you money in the long run. If you prefer the debt snowball method, you can start with the smallest balance and gain momentum with each debt you eliminate. 3. Start paying off the smallest debt first. This method, called the debt snowball, is powerful for one reason. It builds confidence. As you pay off one debt after another, you gain a sense of accomplishment that keeps you motivated. Remember, the ant doesn't tire when gathering its food. With each small victory, you'll feel the weight of your financial worries lifting. By working diligently, planning, and taking action, you're trusting in God's provision while partnering with Him in the work He's called you to do. Just as the ant gathers in the summer and prepares for the harvest, you too can set yourself up for a bountiful future. Keep moving forward, sacred ones. Your efforts, paired with faith, will lead to great results. Sacred ones, breaking free from debt is not just a financial journey, it's a spiritual one. Remember, God's promises are true and His plans for you are good. You don't have to walk this road alone. With faith, wisdom, and action, freedom is within your reach. If this video has encouraged or inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that will awaken your spiritual journey and help you live in God's abundance. Having said this,